If all the ice on Earth suddenly began melting, the world would witness a disaster beyond imagination. Mountains would lose their snowy crowns, polar regions would turn into raging seas, and entire coastlines would vanish. Cities we know today could sink beneath rising oceans. In just 7 days, humanity would face centuries of change. Could we survive such chaos? Could Earth ever recover from it? This is what would happen. You wake up on a quiet Monday morning, but outside your window, something feels off. The air is warmer, the rivers are rising, and news channels are already calling it the week the ice died. It's not just the Arctic or Antarctica, it's all of Earth's ice. From the snowy peaks of the Himalayas to the frozen heart of Greenland, it's all melting. How much water are we talking about? Enough to raise global sea levels by 70 meters, or about 230 feet. That's taller than a 20-story building. Could New York, London, and Tokyo survive that? Or would they simply vanish beneath the waves? Day 1. The Great Melt begins. What if every glacier, every snowy mountain, and every frozen pole on Earth melted completely in just 7 days? The moment it begins, the world changes forever. Monday morning feels strange. The air is warm, rivers are swelling, and scientists panic as satellite images show the Arctic and Antarctica vanishing like ice cubes under a blazing sun. The news calls it the week the ice died. From Greenland to the Himalayas, everything is melting. The ocean starts to rise, and not by a few inches. If all ice melts, global sea levels jump by 70 meters, or about 230 feet. That's higher than a 20-story building. What would happen to our cities? Could New York, London, and Tokyo survive? Or would they disappear under the waves? By the first day, the Arctic begins to collapse. Huge glaciers break apart, and coastal towns experience floods they've never seen before. The water level climbs by half a meter in just hours. It doesn't sound like much, but it's enough to drown millions of homes near beaches. In Miami, streets turn into rivers. In Bangkok, people use boats instead of cars. The sky grows heavy with moisture, and the air feels like it's sweating. Could anyone stop this? Could humanity freeze the world again? Not in 7 days. Nature doesn't wait for permission. Day 2, the ground starts to crack. By the second day, Antarctica starts to crack open. Massive ice shelves the size of countries break free and crash into the sea with roars louder than thunder. When billions of tons of fresh water pour into the salty ocean, something strange happens. Ocean currents begin to shift. The Gulf Stream, which keeps Europe warm, slows down. Europe starts to cool while the rest of the world overheats. Hurricanes grow stronger, forming in places they never existed before. In Greenland, melting ice releases gases and ancient bacteria frozen for 100,000 years. Could those microbes come back to life? Could something dangerous rise from the melt? At the same time, permafrost in Siberia starts melting, releasing methane into the air. Methane traps heat 30 times more powerfully than carbon dioxide. The planet begins to warm faster than ever. Could this chain reaction make Earth unlivable? Scientists watch helplessly as the temperature keeps climbing. Day 3. The flood cities. By midweek, humanity faces the truth. More than 80% of the world's population lives near coastlines, and coastlines are gone. New York City, London, Shanghai, Mumbai, Sydney, and Rio de Janeiro vanish underwater. Skyscrapers poke out like lonely towers from the sea. What would you do if your city vanished overnight? Where would you go if there were no dry lands left? Millions of people flee inland. Highways turn into rivers of cars and bodies. Airports become refugee camps. Mountain towns that once welcomed tourists now hold desperate families. In this chaos, nations stop fighting each other. Survival becomes everyone's mission. Could we build walls high enough to stop the ocean? Could we move billions of people in time? The answer is no. The sea keeps climbing almost 10 meters a day. Countries like the Netherlands, Bangladesh, and Japan are completely gone within 3 days. Day 4. The new ocean. Half of Earth is now underwater. The map of our planet looks unrecognizable. Continents shrink, islands vanish, and mountain ranges become the last dry spots. What happens when so much ice turns into water? Could the weight of the new ocean change Earth itself? The answer is yes. With water shifting from the poles to the equator, Earth's balance wobbles. The planet's rotation slows slightly, making days longer by milliseconds. The tides grow violent. Ancient valleys and mountains hidden under Antarctic ice finally appear. In Greenland, scientists find fossils in soil that haven't seen sunlight in 2 million years. Could these new discoveries tell us more about the planet's past? Could life still exist deep below the ice? But above the surface, humans struggle to stay alive. Power grids fail. Salt water contaminates rivers. Drinking water runs out. The air turns hot and wet. Giant superstorms spin over the new oceans. Thunder echoes across continents that no longer exist. Day 5, the food crisis. It's not only the flooding that threatens humanity now, it's hunger. Farms vanish beneath the rising water. Crops rot in muddy soil. Fish die from changes in ocean chemistry. How do you feed 8 billion people when farmland disappears? Can we survive on floating farms or lab-grown food? Countries start working together. Engineers build floating hydroponic towers powered by solar energy. Cargo airships deliver food from surviving regions. It's a global effort, but it's not enough. The melting has made Earth too unstable. Without white ice caps to reflect sunlight, the planet absorbs heat faster. Global temperatures rise by 10 degrees Celsius in just 5 days. Coral reefs die, forests burn, and animals collapse from exhaustion. Could humans adapt to this new heat? Would we evolve to live underwater or underground? Survival begins to look impossible. Day 6. The chain reaction. With the poles gone, Earth's crust begins to shift. The weight of the new water presses down on ocean floors, while land once held by ice rises upward. The planet is trying to rebalance itself, but that rebalancing causes chaos. Volcanoes erupt. Earthquakes shake cities that still stand. Could melting ice really cause this kind of destruction? Yes. Ice once acted like a lid, pressing down the ground beneath it. Without it, pressure releases and the Earth's crust cracks open. In Iceland and Alaska, volcanoes roar to life. Rivers of lava meet the rising seas, turning water into clouds of steam. The jet streams in the upper atmosphere collapse, changing weather everywhere. Deserts turn green while rainforests dry out. Africa's Sahara blooms with life again, but the Amazon becomes barren. The moon's pull on the new massive ocean creates super tides that slam hundreds of kilometers inland. The sound of crashing waves never stops. Could humanity still find hope in this chaos? Could new lands rise once things settle? Maybe, but not soon. Day 7. The drowned planet. It's the 7th and final day. From space, Earth glows like a single blue marble. Only the tallest mountains, the Himalayas, the Andes, and parts of Alaska remain above the surface. Everything else is gone. What happens to humanity now? Could we rebuild civilization on floating platforms? Could we survive a world with no continents? Survivors gather on floating cities made from ships, rigs, and broken skyscrapers. These ark cities drift across endless water, powered by solar panels and wind turbines. People harvest algae and fish for food, using desalination to make drinking water. Satellites still orbit, linking the last humans scattered across the ocean. But survival is fragile. Every storm brings destruction. Food is scarce. Disease spreads quickly. Only a few million people remain alive. Scientists work in floating labs, trying to invent technology to cool the planet again. Maybe giant mirrors in space or aerosols that reflect sunlight. But even if it worked, it would take centuries for the ice to return. Epilogue. The lesson of the melt. 7 days changed everything. The ocean swallowed our homes, our cities, and our history. Yet, somehow, a few survived. Floating beneath a blazing sky, they finally understood what the ice had done for them. The ice wasn't just frozen water. It was Earth's balance, its memory, its protection. What if we never let it reach this point? What if we acted before the ice had to melt to warn us? Could we still stop it in real life? The answer is yes, because this future hasn't happened yet. The poles still shine, and the glaciers still stand. The choice to keep them frozen is ours. Every small act matters. Protecting forests, reducing pollution, switching to clean energy. If 7 days could destroy the world, 7 years of effort could save it. So, the next time you see snow on a mountain or ice on a lake, remember, that's more than beauty. That's balance. Keep it frozen, and we keep our home. Lose it, and we lose everything.